Hey Wanda, I want to just give you a quick little video here. Let's go over your worksheet. There's nothing horribly wrong with it. It just was, as I was looking at it, was one of those difficult things to explain via typing at length, and I thought, man, I can go through this in just a minute or two um, doing a little video. So starting here, your starting point's good. That's great. You added more detail than what I had asked for. Your payroll's fine because you don't have any. Your sales forecasts are good. They're broken down nice. I like those. Your additional input's fine. But when we get here to operating expense, okay, the only change on this one's not a big one, but you plugged in inventory there, and I think you changed that from what it had been before. I think it was travel and whatnot, and that's it. You don't have any numbers in there, so it's actually okay to leave that, but it shouldn't be. It should go back to, I think, travel and miscellaneous expense or something like that. But then we get over to here, and this is where the problems kind of occurred. Okay, you wanted to increase your inventory, it looks like, and I can kind of understand that. You're increasing a part of your inventory, the part that's coming from this detail here, so it would be you're increasing this operating, okay, not by a bunch, you're increasing it by a little bit, okay, but this isn't the place to do it. Okay, right here is not the place to do that, and so in fact you changed this one, and it shouldn't have been changed either, because again this was travel, miscellaneous, and those types of things. So you won't have any of those. What I'd like you to do is just delete these. Okay, that deletes that one automatically, so that works out okay. Okay, now I'm hoping that this is gonna work properly. Okay, here is where what this does, and this was a little confusing to me. I'm kind of glad that you had this on yours. It forced me to look at this worksheet, workbook, and I may make a couple changes in the future. But what this workbook assumes is that you're constantly replacing your cost of goods sold. Apparently, that's what it's assuming. Okay, and you may want to increase your inventory, right? Okay, not by a bunch, but you may want to increase it some, and that's fine. You probably wouldn't do it, in May, but in June, July, or you might even do it ahead of time, a little bit. This is in year one, so probably not so much in year one, right? Okay, but maybe year two, right? Maybe when you get in here, it's going to automatically replace what you use. That's the way this workbook is set up. But if you were thinking that you might need to increase your inventory a little bit coming in, maybe 500 that month and maybe 500 that month, okay, that might be all right, okay? And you might do that in year three then as well, okay? And those will bump up your inventory $1,000 each month. And it'll increase your inventory on the balance sheet at the end. Okay, now I want to go check something out and see if that's still, yeah, when you got to the income statement, you did the same thing. You changed, this was travel and other expense, and you added that increased inventory here, and that kind of goofed it up. Now the fact that I took it out, I believe it was on this operating expense. Yeah, because I took it out there, it automatically took it out here, and so I think we're good to go then. Okay, and then let's check out my balance sheet. Yeah, okay, so I started with inventory. It replaced everything that you had with cost of goods sold, but I increased by 1,000 like I had, and then another 1,000 in that extra year. Okay, and doing it that way, I was confused because you had that inventory here. Okay, and I knew that shouldn't be there because we don't, inventory is not really an expense. Our cost of goods sold represents our expense. Okay, and then we take that in the period in which we use the stuff, and so it's a little bit confused. So if you take those out of there, you're going to be good with one more quick thing. Just and this one's really quick on your cash flow. There it is. Okay, this shows, and this wouldn't be unusual, that you're going to need a little bit of a line of credit, okay, because for the first 3 or 4 months you got no income, right? Zero, okay? And so it shows here that in April of that first year, you will have, or I'm sorry, March of that first year, you will have accumulated a line of credit of just over $5,000. That's fine. Don't worry about that, except that you need to pay it back. Okay. And so what I would do is come here to, you don't have enough money in March, but in April it looks like you do. Okay. And so I'd come here to April, and if you plug in this, that you're going to pay that back. Okay, there you go. It reduces that line of credit, and because it had that line of credit all the way through, you know, I can go back and I'll show you. Delete that. It shows that you have a line of credit that's like forever down here on the bottom. And so if we just go back here to April and pay that off, because you have plenty of cash to do that, that zeroes out the line of credit. Okay, and that shouldn't affect your balance sheet then. Oh, sure, I lied. It says you're not balanced that first year, but that's that $1, I think, problem that we had, you know, at the starting one. So don't worry about it. Okay, let's not worry about that $1 that we're off. Again, that's from your starting point, and I'm not going to worry about that. But the fact that these two are balanced is fine. I'm sure I could find that, but it would take a little bit of time. Okay, make those changes, and then I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to have a little bit more accurate portrayal of what your business is going to look like, at least on paper. So thanks. You did a nice job with this. I thought that the forms were a little bit confusing, and maybe you did too, and that's why you kind of added in a couple extra things. But otherwise, you did a really nice detailed job. So keep that up, and keep them coming. Thanks.